What? Gun? What? Like a handgun for personal protection. If somebody tries to mug you. What? What if your government tries to throw you in a can? What? You're gonna want a shotgun. Oh. What? An automatic rifle and a lot of ammo. A gun? Yeah, a gun.
We're all set to riot. Buy a gun before you lose your Second Amendment. Buy a gun. They'll burn you out like a Waco. They'll stick your ass in a camp. Jack for the cops in riot gear, gonna kick your ass and laugh. The revolution is on its way. Better lock and load your AK. Buy a gun, 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 buy a gun before you wish you bought a gun. Buy a gun, 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 buy a gun before you wish you bought a gun. We're all set to riot. Buy a gun before you lose your Second Amendment. Buy a gun. They gave your money to the banksters. They stole your pension fund. It's time that we took to the streets. It's time we had our turn. A revolution is on its way, and the founding fathers would say, buy a gun, 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 buy a gun before you wish you bought a gun. Buy a gun, 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 buy a gun before you wish you bought a gun. Revolution's not clean and neat, you gotta riot in the streets. Revolution's not clean and neat, you gotta drag them through the streets.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Welcome to UCY.TV. My name is Michael, and you are here for PrimerTime Live. My buddy Dan is off. Best wishes to Dan and best wishes to his mom. Everybody get strong. I've got a special guest with us tonight. His name is Jason. Jason from South Texas Sling Bows, innovator of his own personal sling bow, a product I find to be fairly nifty. What's up, Jason?
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Life is what it is. It is what it is, young man. It is what it is. And I think that's like something that all of us firearms owners and firearms enthusiasts have to deal with. It is what it is. And what it is right now seems to be that rush again. Seems to be that rush where it could be the wind, it could be the rush, but I'll tell you what, it's always in the wind. They're totally looking to take the guns again. Have you noticed in the past week the propaganda is in overdrive, looking on the guns again?
Oh yeah, I seen the Saiga 12 going for $6,000.
$6,000 American dollars?
American dollars, brother.
Damn. Now it's being marketed at $6,000. It's not sold at that.
No,
price.
that was the starting bid.
No, this is a gun broker kind of a deal then.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If that's the starting bid, if he gets it, let me know. Let me know. But I don't think they're going to move for that long. I don't think they're going to take that price. I don't think they'll stick with that.
Well, I think there are higher quality weapons out there that do the same thing for a lot less money. So,
I would definitely agree with you. Saiga 12s are not a finely crafted weapon. None of the stuff out of the Izmash factory is finely crafted. It's all fairly crude. It's 100% absolutely flawlessly functional, but it is crude. It's not built to BMW standards. The American consumer likes fit and finish. You're not going to get it with this. You're going to get pure functionality. And a few months ago, a week ago, you could have got it at $400.
Yeah, roughly.
Now you're looking at what's an unconverted Saiga 7.62 by 39, and by unconverted, I mean it will not take the standard AK magazine. There's a small process you have to go through, which is fairly simple. Anybody who could run a drill and turn a screw can actually install this, but that scares people. What do you see one of those stock Segas going for now?
Oh man, with this scare going on, this supposed scare for Osama banning guns, man, probably $1,200 with the way that the.
I don't doubt you are 100% right in $1,200 on an unconverted Sega. I do not doubt that, and tears at me a little bit. And I had made a deal the day before the ban kicked in with a guy, but I'm happy to have honored the deal with him. He's a good dude, and I'm glad he's got it. I don't think he's going to turn around and kind of like BF me on it, but I think he turned around and he got himself a good deal. But that's part of the game. I've got good deals before, but I had to honor the deal with this guy. So that's
yeah,
cool.
well, I mean that's how it works. You can't just because all of a sudden it's a gun craze.
Yeah, and we had made the deal prior to the mess. So, hey, did you get a chance to get out and shoot it all this week? I know we're in the same area, so we don't have to talk about the weather and yada yada yada.
No,
I know that you're still swamp ass hot, just like I am.
Yeah, no, I had a death recently in the family, so I wasn't able to get out and do a whole lot this weekend.
My condolences. No fun. That's really a downer.
Well,
I'll tell you what,
me being, the faith that I am, I think she's better off now than she was. So I'm not that sad. I mean, I'm going to miss her when, Thanksgiving and Christmas and the family get-togethers. But other than that, she's a lot better off now than she was.
Well, there is something to be said of quality of life, and cool for believer in quality of life versus length of life.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's a tough subject to get into, and it can alienate a bunch of people. But I'll tell you what, here's something that everybody else can relate to. 22 long rifle ammunition is plentiful in South Texas. I know I know it's not the same way for everybody else, and I know people up north are still experiencing a drought. But in South Texas, and by South Texas I mean south of I-20, there's ammo at every Walmart, hardware store, big box outdoor store, tack room, farm supply store. Everybody's got it.
Hell, I thought I saw some Diamond Shamrock yesterday.
I would totally buy ammo at Diamond Shamrock just because it was sold at Diamond Shamrock.
There you go.
You're from this area, and outside of Austin, there's a little city called Schulenburg. Are you familiar with it?
Yes, I am. Schulenburg, Texas.
That's right. Schulenburg is a pretty nifty town. They've got a liquor store and gun shop with a drive-through there.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
It's called Double Shot Guns and Liquors, and I will be happy to be a firm customer of Double Shot. I bought a bottle of rum, and I bought some 38 ammo from them.
Two best things on the face of the planet sold in one store. You can't go wrong with that.
Now, two best things on the face of the planet. I had an issue. I got a chance to go shoot this week, and I grabbed a box of CCI Blazer, 158 grain, 38 special plus P, which is it's an aluminum cased bullet, or an aluminum case with a copper bullet on it. And CCI Blazer's claim to fame is that it's cheap plinking ammunition. It's good training ammunition. And before that, it comes in a aluminum case with a different size primer. It's actually got a Burdan primer, which means you can't pop it out just like a boxer primer and pop in another one and reload it, because it's an aluminum case. It's taken a lot of stress, and it's not going to be able to be reformed to the right size. Well, I had some split on me, and with the split, yeah, it was fairly interesting. I had 5 of them in a row split on me, and actually 11 of them split out of the case, out of the box that I bought. And so I contacted CCI, and I'm very happy to report that CCI contacted me by phone. He was more than willing to listen to my issue, and he took a look at the photos that I sent him, because I saved all the brass that I could find, and I took photos of it and I sent it.
Now you can't call it brass, Mike.
That's true. I saved all the aluminum I could find. You're 100%, because I still call steel cases. I'll call them steel brass. So I saved all the aluminum brass that I could. And where I was shooting, it was a little bit overgrown, so I couldn't find everything that I'd lost. But I took pictures of them and I sent it to him. The man was on the phone with me the first business day after I sent him the message, and today, actually, UPS came by my home and picked up the trashed brass and the unfired rounds, and they said they'll have replacement ammo on the way. Now, that's really nice, and it makes you wonder what happened.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean,
overcharged. Like a double charged round or something?
Well, I mean, I guess it could be, or just maybe overloaded in general. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be a double charge, but that's why I refuse to shoot anything but brass through my guns.
I'm starting to get the same feeling, but in the past, I can honestly say I fired many, many thousands of rounds of CCI Blazer, and I fired it in 9mm, 38. 380, it's all worked fine.
I've heard you numerous times talk up CCI Blazer, so I'm not necessarily against them, because I mean,
I've got a personal affinity for CCI Stingers, which is like their rimfire line, and personally, I think CCI has the finest rimfire section in the United States, but. I'm not happy with the performance of the Blazer. But that being said, he did give me some insight, and he spent a good deal of time on the phone with me, which I was fairly impressed. He wasn't trying to get me off or anything like that. He spent some time and he listened to my concerns, and he basically ruled out an overcharge just because of the way that the cases had cracked. He said that if it was an overcharge, like a double charge, it would have cracked closer to the base. What he's thinking is there's some sort of contamination that had happened to the metal.
Well, I mean, it does happen.
That does happen, and it makes me wonder if, from this point forward, if CCI Blazer is not something that you're going to be a little more careful with. I know that I'm going to be a little more careful with it, and to be honest with you, I'm not going to have a problem with CCI products. I will probably stay away from plus P loaded ammunition at this point. And for people that may not know, plus P means plus pressure. It's just it's loaded a bit hotter than standard factory ammunition.
Yeah. Well, see, me personally, my plinking rounds, especially for my 223, man, and I've had no problems with them. American Eagle, man, they're inexpensive. They're brass case. And really and truly, dude, I don't think I've had a single problem. I fired probably well over 1,000 rounds of American Eagle through my 223 5.56, and nothing, not a single problem.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to take out my 5.56 this week, and I shoot at the dump. And my area is growing up, and there's more houses around. And I took that out, and I fired 5 rounds, and I felt that it was too loud to fire in that neighborhood.
Yeah. So, well, I told you, anytime you want to go to my spot, we can go.
I'll tell you what, I may be looking at that this week, because I got to get out and I got to use this thing. I got to become proficient with it, because the writing's on the wall, and I think the days of the AK-47 are are numbered in the United States, and it pains me to say that, but with the recent executive order banning the what is it? It's the ongoing and further sale and any sort of financial gain to the Kalashnikov Collective, which is also known as Izmash, which is the company that makes the Sega rifles and a superior line of AK-47s, the truest to the original design, and with the company's best feelings at heart. I think the writing's on the wall. So
Yeah,
I personally am moving.
I got to agree with you on that one.
There's not a decent manufacturer of AK-47s in the United States, and I know that's a void that will be filled, but now you start wondering about quality. And I'll revert back to to my little CCI ammo incident, which, by the way, I have full faith in the CCI company. I take them at their word, and I have no doubt that what the man told me on the phone will occur. So I'm good to go with CCI. But that being said, that ammo was bought 6 months ago in the middle of the rush. And in the middle of the rush, quality could possibly be compromised in the interest of mass production.
It's always a possibility. There's no two ways about that. I mean, you get into a hurry to mass produce ammo, and sometimes lesser quality ammunition comes out. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Well, I think just with anything, you start bumping up the manufacturing process and putting the emphasis on numbers rather than quality, and you're going to start having problems. But hey, it's a risky game we're all playing with. These aren't they're not jacks. They're not tethered balls. These have some consequences, and that's part of the fun of them. So it behooves everybody to pay attention and to follow rules. And Jason, I'll tell you what, right now, I know we're a little bit early, but I'm going to jump on the 4 rules of gun safety right now.
Go ahead with it, brother.
We got to get that out of the way, and I mean, I personally believe that it should be paramount in every recreational shooter or professional shooter's life. So we got our 4 rules of gun safety tonight, and ladies and gentlemen, every firearm is loaded until you visually and physically inspect the firearm and confirm that it is not. That firearm is loaded. Second rule of gun safety is know what your target is, and know what's beyond your target. Your third rule should be keep that muzzle clear of anything you don't want to destroy. Don't sweep anybody. Don't point it at anybody. Oh, it's okay, the safety was on. That muzzle has to be downrange at all times, or down at the ground, or up in the sky, preferably down at the ground or downrange. And the most important rule is, ladies and gentlemen, please keep your booger hook off the bang switch. Firearms do not discharge on their own. There are no accidental discharges. They are all negligent. Somebody's finger was on the trigger and pulled it. Nobody gets shot with an 8mm Nambu from the Japanese Army in 1946.
There you go.
These are all people pulling the trigger. So, as we see right now, the push is on to ban and regulate firearms again. Chicago, over this last weekend, once again went for the high score. They were a little bit short. I think they only got 40 shot this weekend with 6 deaths. So their ratio improved, but they just didn't have the overall kill method down.
That's crazy, because I thought Chicago had such strict gun laws, and if you take guns out of people's...
I'm sorry, could you say that again? Could you say that again? I didn't quite hear what you said.
I must have broke up. I was saying that I thought with Chicago being the strictest gun laws in the United States, as far as I know...
Jason, my friend, what would make you say that Chicago has the strictest gun laws? What would make you say that?
Well, I think it's because they've told us numerous times in the media that Chicago is a gun-free zone. I don't know how these guys would have gotten guns in a gun-free zone. It's just baffling. It's completely baffling, Mike.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Once again, for the 6th Monday in a row, the police chief of Chicago, Illinois, came out and said that the toll from the weekend, which makes Chicago more like Chirac, was due to
I like that. I'm going to use that.
Yeah. It's Chirac or Chicago.
Chirac.
It's one of the two. It's one
I like
of the
Chirac.
two.
Sounds good. Chirac. It's got a ring to it.
They've got not only does it have a ring, it's got the numbers. Because more people have died in Chicago this year than have died in Iraq.
Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Mike, a buddy of mine just recently moved to Chicago. And he relayed to me the fact that they announced the amount of people who've been shot and the amount of people who've been killed on the news like they're announcing the Cubs score. You know, they're the Cubs beat the Red Sox 6-2.
The Crips are over the Bloods 8-3 over the 3-day weekend.
Exactly. And that
Gangster Disciples are coming up in the Southern League.
It's crazy, man. I thought we lived in the Wild West. Apparently up there it's a whole nother story, man. But if we had more guns up there, there would obviously be more shootings.
There would be totally more shootings. It would be it can't be the Wild West, so it would just be like Chicago in the West, I guess.
Yeah, I still kind of think that they were a little more I don't know, feminine back in those days. I think there were slap fights in Chicago in the olden days. I don't think there was any guns in Chicago. I mean, come on. Let's be serious.
Well, if we look at Chicago's history, that's where Capone hung out. And currently the mayor of Chicago is, well, let's just say it. He's a Mossad operative. He's an American citizen who did not join the United States military. He joined the Israeli military.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting how that happened?
A little bit.
That's interesting. I believe that they just arrested some people at the airport who were flying to Syria, and they called them terrorist accomplices, or some long such technical term that just it only rolls off the tongue of Rachel Maddow. But
I love that. I love that.
You know what? I'm telling you, she was an awesome paper boy at one time.
I'm just telling you, I think if somebody just gave her a good old-fashioned South Texas dicking, she wouldn't be so angry.
I have a feeling she'd give it back.
Damn.
I'm guessing that she plays softball.
She might, or volleyball?
She has comfortable shoes.
Nice. She does. You know what? The last time I looked, she did look like she had a little.
She drives a Volkswagen.
Mustache. No, she's got to drive a Prius. Prius. It's a Prius all day long.
She's a Volkswagen guy.
Oh, okay.
I'm believing she's driving the VR4 with 4Motion and what is it? Telematics. Yeah, because she's always 100% hooked up.
Well, more power to him. I mean,
not every boy can have the future that Rachel Maddow's got.
No, this is true. Only in America, Only in America.
Only in America.
Yeah. I just wanted to put something out there. Today was hot, man. Today was hot. I was sweating like a 10-year-old boy at Neverland Ranch today, man.
When I went out over the weekend, I went out at about 11 o'clock, and, you're from this area, so you're familiar with the Magellan shirts from Academy.
Oh, God, they're lifesavers.
those are the only shirts to wear. Of course, so I went out and that's what I'm getting to here. I wore a cotton shirt. Now, for the people who don't know, Magellan shirts are made out of some miracle fabric that wicks away sweat and dries it off of you fairly quick, and it's got like 15 vents in the shirt. They're beautiful. I did not wear one of those. I wore a plain cotton shirt with buttons on it, and I was out for about 15 minutes, and it was soaked with sweat. You there, Jason? I wonder if I'm there.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So, yeah, I sweat through a shirt fairly good. I could have wrung it out and probably fired up a hydrogen generator with the amount of salt water I put through it.
So you could have gone all Bear Grylls on us and drank it, huh?
Yeah, I would have mixed that with the urine for the outdoorsman cocktail. Does anybody actually really watch that crap?
No, I mean, I think people who don't know, maybe.
Check it out. They sell his knife at Target.
Yeah, I saw that. Didn't buy one. Go figure.
Well, yeah, because it was $39.99.
Yeah, that was a pocket knife.
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was a Gerber pocket knife for $39.99. But it was orange and it had Bear Grylls and like a little bear or something inscribed on it.
Yeah.
$39.99. What a deal.
I gotta kind of figure he was born of a woman.
I don't know if I'm going to ascribe his weakness to a feminine trait, because I'll tell you what, I know some chicks with some huge balls.
Yeah.
And
Lori, for one, Lori has some huge balls. She told me.
Well, I'll tell you what. Women pass a baby, which is about the size of a small watermelon, and guys cry over, like, kidney stones, which are smaller than a marble. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to put the strength in the woman category on that.
But now, here's the thing, though. You got to do a ratio of hole size here, man. Because
yeah, well, watermelon do marble. Yeah, they still win. They still win.
I don't know. My son's head wasn't that big.
Yeah, but it's not just the head she's giving birth to.
Yeah, but that's usually the biggest part on a child.
Usually.
This is true. And fortunately for my son's case, it wasn't.
I've been to Bloomington. I've been to Bloomington. Seriously, that's kind of a joke for South Texas people. Anybody who's been to the state of Texas will see when you drive into a city, there's going to be the city sign, a stop sign, or a speed limit sign, and there is going to also be a sign declaring the quality of the water. Pretty much every place I've ever been to in Texas is superior or outstanding or exceptional. You go into Bloomington and the sign says adequate.
That's what's up.
And yeah, I don't live in Bloomington anymore.
Yeah. Go figure, huh? So, now, here's a question for you, Mike, not to stir up any of our liberal listeners, which don't we have any except for oh man, you know what I forgot to do, Mike?
You tell me.
I forgot to thank the what's that?
You thank whoever you want to thank.
Well, I forgot to thank the NSA for listening to us tonight, because they're one of our most dedicated listeners. They always listen. They always do. The only government branch that listens.
Jason, I'm going to tell you this, that due to the new funding for DARPA, they already knew you were going to thank you.
Oh, I know they did.
The drone in the sky already knew that you were going to thank it. It read your brain waves, so don't worry about it.
I'm sitting under my carport. They can't read my brainwaves because it's made out of tin.
I'm in a Quonset hut. You people can't get me. Speaking of which, this is totally off the subject of anything, but and I'm totally not like a pop culture fan by any means, but Weird Al Yankovic, and we would know him from like.
Cheer, man.
You're kidding me. His nipples are nowhere good as Janet Jackson's.
Yeah, but I'd still pay to see him.
Well, I'll tell you what. I saw 2 videos from him over this last week, and I would. I'm usually not the person to give out pop culture references or anything, but look for 2 of his videos. One is called Tinfoil. No, I'm sorry. It's called Foil, and then the other one is called Word Crimes. And go ahead and watch those videos. They're actually fairly good.
Check those out.
Word Crimes actually rings with me because I get tired of seeing, Facebook or posts on anything where it's where it's just a series of letters and numbers.
Yeah.
That bugs me. I
managed to get kicked off like 2 Facebook groups this weekend. I don't know why. I'm a pretty nice guy.
Congratulations. I got kicked off of Facebook myself for espousing hate speech.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So I've got a brand new name on Facebook. So anybody out there, you go ahead and you friend Juan Tamale.
Yeah, because I don't think that'll get you kicked off at all.
Whatever. I mean, I'll just start making up any name that I feel is appropriate at this time. But yeah, I got kicked off of Facebook for espousing some hate speech. So
yeah, that happens. People are so sensitive these days, and I don't even know why.
Well, I just wasn't performing within the community of man standards, and yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on. So you mean the same community that will allow videos of Al Qaeda cutting off the heads of Americans, but won't allow pictures of a young white blonde girl hunting big game in Africa? Are we talking about the same actual site?
Jason, I posted personal feelings on Facebook about the Hobby Lobby controversy, which I think both you and I can agree is just a great big manufactured joke. But I stated the quite obvious that Hobby Lobby they pretty much only hire homos and grandmas. And you know what? Birth control's really not an issue for either one of those groups.
Well, here's my thing, though. In all seriousness, Mike. Yeah, in all seriousness, Mike, Hobby Lobby actually does provide birth control. They do not, however, provide morning pill. Go figure.
That's fine. That's fine. Hey, that's their own beliefs, and more power to them. I just know that every time I've ever been into a Hobby Lobby, the guy who's checking me out is either a frustrated Starbucks barista, or this lady knows how to make canned turtle soup the way that they made it back in 1850.
Oh man, that sounds good. I don't know why, but that sounds really good right now.
You know what? I'll bet you that turtle soup comes with some cornbread. I would put money on that.
With like actual corn kernels in it, right? The way we make it down here. People don't understand. When I tell them we actually put
the shavings of jalapeno, where you can make one jalapeno, make like 12 loaves of bread. Oh, yes, that kind.
Yeah, please, man, you're making me hungry right now. Yeah. Have you ever had armadillo soup? Now that's the real question.
You know what? I've not, and I'd like to try it. I've heard many scary things about armadillos, like the armadillo meat will give you leprosy and all that. And right now, underneath my storage, I've got my little storage cabin. I've got an armadillo living under there, and I throw him cabbage once in a while. Soup. He's nice. He's not doing nothing to nobody.
Shit. Texas. That's believe it or not, that's a Texas state animal. I didn't realize that.
I did realize that.
I did not.
I think that's interesting. That's okay. It's okay. I mean, not many people in Arizona know that the saguaro cactus is actually the state tree. So.
Yeah. If you pee on those, you get in trouble. I'm just throwing that out there because
if you look at a cactus wrong, if you look at a cactus wrong in Arizona, you can go to jail and your children can be fined.
Yeah, I think my grandchildren.
If you did it really bad, your children will go to jail.
Yeah, don't run over one. Just word of reference.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was a firefighter and a paramedic, and I went to a car accident that involved a Chevy S10 pickup into a saguaro that was about 26 foot tall. It would have been probably about 150 years old is what this one would have been. And it came down and it smashed that Chevy like it was a Pepsi can.
It's like running into an oak tree.
It's like running into a concrete post because it's solid water. And it comes down and it's a lot of weight. And by the way, it being solid water, you can't survive off it. Please, for all the survival-minded people, if you take a big chunk of saguaro cactus and you start sucking off it, make sure you have plenty of toilet paper.
Yeah, because it will give you the shits.
It will give you the runs. It's wonderful if it's fried. It's wonderful made into a juice. Do not suck it straight off the hunk. Since
you know me, I'm a survivalist kind of guy. Did you know that the
I've heard that you've used butane lighters before.
I have. I can't lie. I have used a butane lighter like 3 times in my entire life. Dustin's an asshole, so don't listen to anything he says. But no, did you know that you can eat the fruits off of the regular cactus that we have down here in South Texas? Red things.
Yeah, prickly pears. Yeah, those are actually really, really good. Now, once again, you have to process. If you pick one and peel it and start eating it, you'll find that it's 10 times better than any kind of laxative that you can buy in a store.
But you know what? You can adapt your body to that because me and my little brother used to eat them some bitches all the time, and eventually it doesn't do that much damage.
Eventually, the runs went away.
It only took like 10 years.
Because there was nothing else to run out at that point.
They taste great.
Oh, it's wonderful. In jelly, it's great. They make a liqueur out of them. They make a barbecue sauce using them. Oh, yeah. I like prickly pear. I really enjoy it.
I want to change the subject for a second, Mike. I'm going to ask you a question. How close to WW3 do you think we are right now, man?
We are a good amount of money away from it. And like several contracts away. We're nowhere near it right now. I think we're in a spot that calls for a lot of media minds to get out there and mouth their opinion. I think there's a lot of information that's of dubious sources being touted as the truth, and when it comes down to it, we are several contracts away from a war. And I would say that we're closer to a war in the United States than we are closer to a war with any external enemy at this point. That's just me personal.
Yeah, man, I don't know with Russia and China, Russia being declared an enemy of the UN. I don't know, man.
Tell me about this declared an enemy of the UN. I didn't hear that.
Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I did read an article that stated that the UN had officially declared Russia no longer a part of the UN, as well as I don't know that would go as far as to say an enemy of the UN, but maybe not so favorable.
A non-participating actor in the play.
Yeah, basically that guy that stands in the back and doesn't do anything, but nobody likes him.
They might be taking that spot from us. Jeez, I don't know. Well, I mean, seriously, like, all right, let's look at this. If we were going to go to war with Russia or whoever, and Russia seems to be the obvious choice right now, what would it take? It would take massive mobilization of the soldiers that we already have, which we're down currently right now, because as Chuck Hagel said about 6 months ago, that they were in the process of downsizing the United States military to pre-World War II levels. All right, so we're not seeing the increased contracts that would call for the supply of the soldiers, and we're not seeing a big push for the recruitment of soldiers right now. So I'd say we still got a ways to go. Like, we're at least 6 months off. Just looking at it,
I could see that.
Just looking at it from that point, because there's not a commercial every 30 seconds on the radio for joining the Navy or joining the Army or something like that. And to be honest with you, I get quite a bit of Spanish radio in my time, and I haven't heard any Army commercials in Spanish. I figure that the minute that I start hearing commercials for Join el Army de USA, the minute I hear something like that, then I think that we're getting really, really close. We're probably
so that's the time to start worrying.
That's right. The minute I start seeing, be all you can be translated into Espanol, soy todos de su todos. Yeah, I would say that's the time to start buying rice by the shopping cart full. What I do think that we're closer to is some sort of monetary collapse. And I really think that a lot of this stuff with it has to do with the plane in the Ukraine and Russia has a lot to do with the money. I really don't think that. I don't think the United States has two shits to give about what goes on in the Ukraine. I mean, for Christ's sakes, if you really want to get down to it, in between 1932 and 1933, over like the span of like 14 months, like 12 million Ukrainians died of starvation, and the United States did jack shit about it. So I don't think the United States gives two squats about the Ukrainians. I think they're just another like trash Slavic race that immigrated to the United States, and the overlords of the world said, whatever, Ukrainians, Czechs, Slavs, they're all bohunks of some sort. We don't need them here. But right now, it's just convenient that they're on the map.
Well, that a lot of the European banks have frozen most of the big business Russian accounts.
I think that's interesting, but you have to look at these banks freezing these accounts. What are these accounts denominated in? These accounts are denominated in dollars. They didn't freeze accounts that are marked in rubles or accounts that are marked in yuan or in rial or in rupee. They just sanction the ones that are marked in dollar. And we both know that the only thing that keeps the American dollar afloat is the fact that you have to buy American dollars to buy oil. And,
this is true.
The day before this plane happened, or I guess it was the morning that this shoot down happened, which also coincided with the fucking Israelis jumping into Gaza like a bunch of just heartless fucking bastards. I mean, Jesus H. Christ. The number is like 650 dead right now. They're bombing schools and hospitals.
Yeah, and this is going to sound real insensitive to me. They can all bomb the shit out of each other. I don't care. They don't.
I understand.
Hurt my feelings
I totally
in the fucking
understand
least
your
bit.
feelings. I understand your feelings, and you know what? I don't want to pay for it. I totally don't want to pay for it. This vaunted Iron Dome that Israel's got that totally knocks down like them Roman candles that they're shooting from Palestine right now. Each one of them fucking rockets costs $50,000 a piece, and they're firing like 110 of them a day. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The United States built and paid for the Iron Dome. That's your tax money.
Yeah.
How many fucking slides at the park could that put in? How many goddamn like starving kids in Detroit could you? How many water bills in Detroit could you pay with one day of Iron Dome activity money?
How many guns could you supply to citizens in Chicago with that kind of money?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If every citizen in Chicago had a single shot 12 gauge, if every citizen in Chicago that was able and legal to carry a firearm had a single shot 12 gauge at their house, I bet you crime in Chicago dropped half by a week.
Oh shit, probably more than that. Especially if the
I
bad
could see that. I could see that. But the problem is you start giving shotguns to poor people in Chicago, they're going to trade it for they're going to trade it for spam and lottery tickets and crack.
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 It's hard out.
And peanut butter and crack sandwiches.
It's hard out here in the D.
It's so cold in the D. How motherfuckers supposed to keep the peace?
I love that song.
You know that's the problem. Is that with today's society, everything that Detroit was great at no longer counts. The only thing that will stick in the future is that it's so cold in the D.
No, Barry Sanders. Sanders.
I think they have like genetic copies of Barry Sanders, and they're going to end up cloning him.
Like have a whole team of nothing but Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be turned to team. It'll be turned to battalion at that point. RoboCop Sanders. Whatever. They can just hire Tim Tebow and he can overthrow everybody. Ha ha ha!
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I definitely can't argue with that.
You know, I used to be a sports fan, but really I can't watch them anymore. I really can't watch any sports anymore. I've got a problem with these guys that make, they have a 4-year contract for $116 million, and 4 years after the contract ends, they're bankrupt and they've got like 28 kids by like 13 different women.
And you know why that? You know why that is? Because no one teaches them how to conserve their money.
It doesn't matter if they kept the money; they'd still live the same lifestyle. I mean, look at what just passed in Florida the other day, and I think we probably both agree on it. But what kind of society are we now that? I mean, they've actually put in a monetary fine for sagging your pants. You know, it's no longer like, the old man like makes you feel bad when you walk around the corner because your pants are sagging off your ass. But now there's like a $600 in fine and jail time.
Yeah,
what kind of like society have we become to where like the clothing standards now require like a penalty?
Well, you know where that originated, right?
Oh yeah, that's a prison thing, right?
Yeah,
that means your ass is for sale.
That's exactly what I mean.
You'll trade your booty for like 3 cookies or something.
I think the rate is a little higher now with inflation, but
yeah, 3 cookies and a top ramen.
Yeah, most likely.
Well, what's the cost of top ramen in like off the commissary now?
I think it's about 25 cents. So quite a bit more expensive in the world. Yeah.
Oh, that's actually kind of cheap because I'll tell you what, I was a resident of a county-funded facility for a few months, and I do remember that the accoutrements were quite a bit more expensive. I remember Top Ramen being $1.75 a pack.
Holy crap! No, you can buy.
Yeah, it was a bad mess, man.
Yeah, you can buy.
I had like $90, and I was broke like the first commissary.
Yeah, you can buy chili with no beans for $1.30. I mean,
well, that's like HEB price.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, for the most part, but Top Ramen at my unit anyway is only, I want to say it's like 25 cents.
My lord, that's just like cruel to you guys, because you can't be giving like chili with no beans to dudes and like putting 4 of them in a room with one stainless steel toilet. That's asking for trouble.
We actually only have 2 of them in one room with a stainless steel toilet.
That's asking for half the trouble.
Unless they're in the day room, and then at any given time there could be 80 of them with one toilet.
I think 80 guys in the day room is exactly why that American, the American 180, which is a 22 long rifle submachine gun that feeds from a 180 round drum off the top. It looks like a Tommy gun, except for the big drum magazine would be on the top. And I believe that rifle was designed for prison use.
I think it was. It sounds like it. Sounds very similar. They're a chunk of
cash right now. Those things are a chunk of cash right now. Anybody who gets themselves a Class 3 license and gets out and does their thing.
Well, they've taken away most of our fun stuff. We used to have a shock shield, which is basically like a riot shield inverted with a taser. And I'm just going to say that it might have possibly been misused like 1 or 50 times. And we no longer have those.
This is why you can no longer have nice things.
I know. We can't have anything nice at the prison. Nothing.
But in defense, dude, I do have to say I worry about the sanity of somebody who goes to work at the worst place in the world every day of their own choice.
Hey, dude, we have the cream of the crap. All the crap that rises to the top. That's what we have.
You are in with the A team.
Oh yeah, me and Mr. T, we're kicking it every day.
I don't get in no plane, Murdoch.
No planes.
I pity the fool.
Yeah, shit, dude. I tell you what. I had to work not this past weekend, but the weekend before. We had a guy, 1.7 alcohol content, beat the crap out of another guy. Had to life flight him.
No. 0.17. 0.17.
No.
1.7 is like record breaking.
I think they told me it was 1.7.
That's 2% of the blood being alcohol, which means that the boy would like not freeze.
Yeah. I think it was 1.7.
All right, it can be done. It can be done. Some people have bigger livers than others.
Oh no, trust me, this dude's liver is like non-existent. Because I mean, you got to imagine this is like moonshine, and these guys are drinking excessive amounts.
Well, at least, in Texas it's different. In Arizona, you can buy liquor in grocery stores. And you can also buy liquor in gas stations. And there are certain gas stations downtown in Tucson that they sell more 1 gallon bottles of vodka with a handle that's got a pistol grip on it than they do gasoline.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that. I spent 6 years overseas in Arizona.
Yeah, it's an interesting place. Some call it home, but yeah.
Me personally, I call it the asshole of America.
Well, you've never been to Detroit, have you?
No, I'm kind of thinking that's like the gag reflex.
Yeah, no, that's yeah. I'll tell you what. I don't want to knock on Detroit because there's some fine people that live there, but I don't know. I didn't get any gas there. I didn't get any gas in Detroit. I made sure that I had gas before I got through, and I got gas in Port Huron. When I was in Canada, I heard nothing but bad news coming out of Detroit, and coming back down, I saw the most amazing collection of transmissions, bumpers, transfer cases, and complete front end clips of cars on the side of the highway along that lovely gray snow near the dead trees.
Yeah, that's a nice place. I hear.
Detroit was scary. Hey, listen, if you really want to get into something interesting, and this is completely off the gun topic, as most of this has been, but look at the Detroit Public Schools website. They've got like 150 properties for sale, and you can buy like an actual like high school, like on a 5-acre plot. It's like a four-story building. It's got loading docks. It's got an incinerator. It's got its own water well. It's got blah, blah, blah. It's all this kind of stuff. You can buy it for like $22,000. But then you own a high school in Detroit.
$22,000 on a boat in South Texas, then I wouldn't buy the Capitol building in Detroit.
Dude, $22,000 on a boat
grand.
in South Texas is going to get you a 21-foot fiberglass boat with 150 Yamaha on the back.
Hey, that's all I need, Bubba.
I think a high school in Detroit's a little more defensible.
Yeah, but it's in Detroit.
Yeah, so now you're gonna have to spend money on ammo.
Yeah, and, exactly. That shit adds up.
Yeah, ammo's starting to get pricey.
I think a boat would be better off.
Gotta have a destination, or if not, it's just a golf cart.
I'm okay with that.
At that point.
I'm all right with that.
And actually, I don't even need it. And actually, I don't even need a destination, man, because I'm sticking it out here. This is my house, and this is where I live. So I'm sticking it out here. I hope everybody else does too, because this is where you live.
Oh, I'm not going nowhere, Mike. No. I'll send you my plans later. We've got spots. Don't worry about it. I got you. You bring your guns and your ammo, and I've got a spot for you.
Bluetooth it to me.
I don't have no blue teeth. I have a white teeth and one that's a little...
I'll tell you what. I'm just joking because I just figured out how to use the Bluetooth the other day, and it's really
I don't even know what that thing is. I thought it was some kind of...
It's pretty cool once you figure it out.
I thought that was some kind of gangster stuff. I thought you had to be a gangster to have that. I don't know.
I am not a Crip.
Are you sure? I'm just saying.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought they had red tooth and blue tooth. Okay.
Let me check underneath my bandana.
Yeah. No, nothing there.
Right next to my High Point 40.
Boat anchor. That's a boat anchor.
They work.
Hey, I had one for a long time. I traded it for a tattoo. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I traded it for the tattoo.
That's cool.
Huh? I got a tattoo out of it.
At least the tattoo won't, it won't like eject part of the tattoo or anything.
Nope.
While it's in use.
There. Thank God you don't.
Oh my Lord, that's music. Thank you. Thank you very much. Best wishes.